Hey, sixth grade. I want to talk about how to convert fractions to decimals for part one. In part two, we're going to talk about how to convert decimals to percents. So my first question to you would be this. What's a fraction? What's a decimal? Stop the video and have a conversation about that. Alrighty, now that you're back. So tell me what your thoughts on fractions. So what was your consensus? Would you agree there's something on top? There's something on bottom? Could the top number be small? Could it be big? Could it be both? So be mindful of saying put the little number inside because that's not true. What if I told you Nindo is the answer? N-I-D-O. Anybody know what that means? Not Nintendo. I'll do that later. How about this? Numerator in denominator out. Now that sounds really cool. Okay, which one's the numerator? You're right. The numerator's the top number. And who's the denominator? Well, how about D for down? D for down. So this one must be up, maybe? Maybe the U there for up. So if you're looking at a numerator, so this one's your numerator. This one's the denominator. So far, so good? So what if I gave you the number 3/4, the fraction? Now, I've had a conversation with kiddos. How many of you love fractions? I don't see anybody standing. So here's the deal. You keep all the paper dollars, and I'll keep all the change you ever make. And we'll just be even. Because I'll gather every nickel and dime and quarter you own. Because you're donating every piece of change. Yeah, I know. That sounds expensive, doesn't it? So be mindful of telling me you hate fractions because you just gave me all your quarters, nickels, pennies, dimes. Every one of them for the rest of your life. That's a new car. Yeah, I know. Hey, but I'm driving it. I'm going to get a good one. So you need to learn how to love fractions because you love a new car. I like quarters. I never walk by and go, oh, that's a stupid quarter. I'm not picking that up. Dude, that's 3/4. That's too much trouble. Yeah, right. I pick all that up. So be mindful of telling me you hate fractions because yeah, I know. No, that's not true at all. I love my quarters. All of them. I even like yours at the rate you're going. So, back to the question. 3/4. So, what if you went back to 4th grade? What if I gave that question to a 4th grader? 3rd grader? What would they tell me? Would they tell me shade 3? Well, that's really cool. You don't even have anything drawn and you're going to color 3. Now, that's talent. How about this one? Why don't you draw me 4 pieces and we'll shade 3? Now, that makes more sense. No, they're not even. I'll just do the best I can. So you probably should start with a total. I got 4 pieces. It's kind of hard to shade 3 when I don't even have any drawn. And so this is my total. And this is how many I'm going to shade. I'm just going to put check marks by them. So I shaded 3 out of the 4 pieces. So if this was pizza, I ate most of it and you got very little. Oh well, it was really good too. Chocolate pie? Oh yeah, even better, even better. So that's what it looks like with a model. That's what it looks like in a fraction form, and there's your vocabulary. But how do you change this back to a decimal? Because that was really the question in the first place. Now, we're going to use Nindo. Nindo's your best friend. I love Nintendo. So which one's the numerator? 3. Which one? And it's going to go in. So I'm assuming it looks like that. 3 goes in. And who's the denominator? 4. So it's going to go out. There we go. It's set up perfectly. And you're going, yeah, but I can't do those. Let's add a decimal. Let's add some zeros. I'll add 2 or 3. I may not use all 3, but I added a couple. So 4 times what is 3? By the way, these are my thinking sentences. And this, if you're not thinking this way, then you're doing it wrong. For those of you going, I hate division, you just tell me you hate to multiply backwards. What do you think division is? I'll help you. Division is multiplication backwards. By the way, if you can't multiply, okay, you're in a lot of trouble at this point. You know that teacher that said, you're going to find that teacher and you should have learned how to multiply? You just found one. You can't divide if you can't multiply. Impossible. Anyway, continuing on. 4 times blank is 3. What's 4 times 1? 4. Well, it's too big. You can't go over this number. So this is 0. And what's 4 times 0? 0. So I'm going to put a 0 here. I can put a 0 here, bring down the 3. By the way, bring down that next number because check mark, 3's done. I'm going to start my question over. 4 times what is, and it's this number down here, 30. 4 times what's 30? What's 4 times 5? 20. What's 4 times 6? 24. What about 4 times 7? 28. 4 times 8, 32. Too much. So 4 times 7 was 28, and 4 times 8 was 32. And it's okay to write those off. I'm not going to complain. All right, so we decided 4 times 8 is 32, and that's not going to work. I'm going to draw one line through it just so I don't use it, but don't scratch it out because I might need it. So 4 times 7 is 28. It's small enough to fit, but it didn't go over. So this 7 goes on top, and this 28 goes on the bottom. Now, do you see this decimal here? Do you have any over here? So this little baby just goes straight on up. It's not broke, don't fix it. So 30 minus 28 is 2. Bring down another little 0. 4 times what is 20? So here's my 4. Always starts with this number in here. Times what? That's always the case. This is the number that goes over here. And I know these are cool. These are called thinking sentences. Hey, for those of you that don't know cursive, that could be a problem. So 4 times what's 20? Yeah, I know. 4 times 5 is 20. So 5 goes here, 20 goes here. Where does this number go? On top. Where does this number go? On the bottom. How often? Every time. So this whole column is the top number. This whole column is the bottom number. So put the 5 on top. Put the 20 on the bottom. What's 20 minus 20? 0. Done. So it's 75 cents. Hey, by the way, did you know that 3 4/4 is 75 cents? Yeah, me too. That was kind of silly, right? So I hope you enjoyed learning how to divide a crazy way. And that's like not crazy. It's the really best way. And so you've got a model. You have a fraction. Now you have the decimal. So right now I can also say 0.75. I do like that 0 in place. It tells me $0, 7 dimes, 5 pennies. Now for me, this is Diet Dr. Pepper. $0, 7 dimes, 5 pennies. You know, that can't get any better than that. Boy, the Dr. Pepper's the best stuff, right? So now let's look what you've got. You've got a model, check. Fraction, check. Decimals, check. What about percents? Oh, those are hard. Those are even worse. Yeah, it says not me. So let's move on down. By the way, the percents are the easiest you'll ever touch. So remember, you had 3/4. You had a model. 3 of 4 shaded. Draw 4 first. Then you said that was 0.75 cents. So you got fraction, model, decimal, and we're left with percent. And I apologize, that didn't fit on there. Dang paper. So what's a percent going to look like? So what if I gave you a really cool trick? It's called a strategy. I know, wicked, right? So would you agree this is 75 cents? I know. So what if you wrote it like this, 75 cents? Now, that's pretty easy. What if I said add per? Yep, now reread it. 75%. By the way, that looks like this. Yep, done. That was it? Yes. So if you have a decimal, add per, 75 cents is 75%. You know, I've seen teachers where they teach it, move to the right, move to the left, and that works great, except that one little detail. Do you really know your right and your left? Is it her right or your right? Or maybe we're both right, or maybe you're wrong. Let's try another one. What if I gave you the percent and wanted the decimal? Hey, that could be harder, right? So what if I said 8%? That one looks hard. So wouldn't that be 38%? Yeah. Did you add the per up here? Yeah. What's the opposite of adding it? You're right. Subtracting it. So why don't we delete the per? Cut the per. What's 38 and take away the per? Read that out loud for me. 38 cents. Wouldn't that be that? Or that? Or that? All true. Bonus round. What if it's 145%? I know. Stop crying over there. That's a killer. Wouldn't that be 145%? Cut the per. What's that say? 145 cents. Whoa. What's 145 cents? How many cents makes... Isn't that pennies? Because isn't cents the same as pennies? So what's 145 pennies? Wouldn't that be a dollar? Yeah, because 100 pennies is a dollar, last time I counted. Don't you have 45 left over? Ta-da! Isn't that cool? Cut the purr. Well, I just taught most of your Unit 1 in one page. Pretty awesome, I know. Enjoy my video, and guess what? Since it's a video, there's this really cool thing called the rewind button. You can watch it again if you get stuck. Y'all have a great year. Goodbye.